Hello everybody, today we will repeat 3 types of street food from different countries. Each of these dishes is iconic and unique, so watch carefully. The first country is Uzbekistan with its legendary samosa, which is sold here just everywhere, in street stalls, in bazaars, and in the alleys of streets. First, let's knead the dough. Then divide it into equal pieces, and roll it into cakes. For the filling, a lot of onions are cut. Add some chicken, spices, and meat, and knead that filling. Then all of this is tightly wrapped in a cake of dough. And here's the most interesting thing. Samosa is prepared in such an unusual clay stove called tandoor, simply by gluing on the walls. Due to the fact that they are very hot, samosa sticks perfectly and holds. And when it is thoroughly browned, it disappears from the walls in the tandoor without any problems. On this, samosa is ready. We're left with a little pie with an incredibly juicy filling and oriental flavor. Now let's redo them at home. Especially for this, I bought such a hefty tandoor. We remove everything that's not needed from it. We throw in some paper, small branches, and larger firewood inside. From below, through the blowout, we ignite all this with a burner. The tandoor has a very powerful thrust, therefore it flares up in just a minute. We close the tandoor so that the lid also warms up properly. So, for the dough you need to melt 150 grains of butter. Done. In a bowl, we need a kilogram of flour, a good pinch of salt, pour into a half liter of water, and begin to knead. In the process, add some melted butter, and continue to knead. Now our dough is ready. Let's give him some rest. We'll make the filling ourselves. To do this, we peel a kilogram of onions and cut them into cubes. Done. Now let's throw it into the bowl. Now for the meat. You can use different types, but it seems to me that the most authentic samosa is still from mutton. So I took a leg of mutton without a bone, cut it first into large pieces and then into smaller. Just like that. There you go. For the juiciness, you also need to add some chicken. This is some mutton fat. We also cut it into small pieces. And now all of this needs to be turned into minced meat with a hatchet, periodically. You're going to add some minced meat. And continue to dice it. The main thing is to not overdo it so that it doesn't turn out too small. So we shift the meat to the onion, pour the cumin into the mortar, and grind it so that the aroma turns up to its maximum. Throw in the filling. This includes black pepper and salt. That's it, mix the filling with your hands until it becomes homogeneous. Back to the dough. We tear off a piece from it and put it onto the scales. Each piece should weigh 64 grams. We roll a ball out of it and put it on a tray. You need to divide the dough into such portions. We dust the table with some flour. Take one ball of dough, roll it out a little bit, scoop up some filling, and spread it out on the dough. We fold it tightly to close the filling. Our first cooked samosa is ready. We do more until the stuffing runs out. We're left with 1.5 trays, so let's go outside. All the firewood in the tandoor has burned through and it is very hot. We moisten each blank with water so that it is a beautiful crust. And we press it well against the wall of the tandoor. We do the same with every other one. I added too much filling to some of the samosas. Due to the heavy weight, they fell right into the tandoor, but most of them are holding on. Close the lid of the tandoor. They will cook for 20 minutes. Our samosas are already browned. If it falls easily away from the wall, then it is definitely ready inside. We spread this out on a platter. For all this, our homemade samosa is ready. In my opinion, this is very similar to what is being prepared in Uzbekistan. While it's still hot, you need to try it. It's awesome how delicious and juicy. For those who love the smell of mutton, this is 10 out of 10. Our next country in line is Korea. They sell popcorn from different types of cereals in markets here, but the most interesting thing is how they make it in an old-traditional way in such a device. The main thing here is a thick, walled iron container. They take some rice and put it inside. Tightly close it. It constantly rotates, and when pressure is formed inside, this container is quickly opened. There is an explosion, and all this rice turns into rice popcorn. But you can also do this with corn. Then you will get an ordinary, familiar popcorn. I found exactly the same machine for making popcorn, only very small. Glue some double-sided tape to the table. We glue the stand so that it is stable. We open up our device. First, we need to try to mix the popcorn from corn. Fill the container with about 2/3 full. Close. And tighten the bolt. With the help of pliers, we will tighten it even more so that it can withstand the pressure. We install this on the stand. We light the burner and heat it, constantly rotating so that the corn inside is constantly mixed and warmed up evenly. So our pressure inside is already 6 atmospheres. That's enough. We put the device in a special bag. We push the fastening handle into the hole and hit it with the hammer. Our corn turned into popcorn in just 1 second. Pour this into the bowl. To make it delicious, there are a lot of flavoring additives. My favorite was with the taste of cheese. Sprinkle that on the popcorn. Mix it around. And taste. This tastes like a movie theater popcorn. Now let's try to make some rice popcorn using exactly the same technology. Our rice popcorn is ready. Sprinkle this with some raspberry powder. Mix and try. I mean, this is alright, but corn popcorn is much tastier. I am shocked at how powerfully popcorn flies out of this tiny device. The last country for today is Turkey. There, in the shops with sweets, they sell the famous baklava. In fact, it's like an old dish. Back in 1453, it was prepared for the Sultan. And he liked it so much that he ordered the recipe to be immortalized. Since then, this recipe has become an integral part of Turkish culture. And now it is so popular that it is prepared on an industrial scale. For baklava, a dough is kneaded, then sent into a special machine, inside of which the dough is rolled out, and incredibly thin cloths are obtained at the output. This dough is spread onto a baking sheet in lots of layers. Then there is a thick layer of pistachios in the middle, and again, many layers of dough. After that, all this is cut like a cake, poured on top with melted butter, and sent into an oven. When everything is ready, the baklava is poured with hot syrup. And right in the middle, pistachios are added for decoration. This baklava is finally ready. But if you order this dessert in a restaurant, then ice cream will also be added into the center of the baklava. I really want to try it. So let's start cooking. We break 1 egg into a bowl. Pour in 120 milliliters of oil, 120 milliliters of milk, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, a little kefir, a pinch of salt, 700 grains of flour, and set it all in a stand mixer to be kneaded. At first, the dough is dry, but after adding 200 milliliters of water, it becomes as kneaded. It is necessary to form a ball like this. Now we cut this into 16 equal pieces. We take the first one and roll it out with a rolling pin. As thinly as possible. Cut it to fill the shape. Spread it inside. Re-roll out the next piece of dough. And also spread it out. Now we need to lay out 7 layers. And now we need 300 grams of raw pistachios. With a knife, they need to be thoroughly crushed. Done. We're left with pistachio crumbs. We pour all this into the baking tray and distribute it evenly. Now we spread out 6 more layers of dough. The top layer is tamped at the edges. And we cut off the excess dough. We're left with a little thing like this. So we cut all this into 16 slices. There we go. Now we melt 250 grams of butter in a saucepan and water our baklava. We throw this into the oven for an hour at 160 degrees. The butter seems to fry the donut and nuts, making them crispy and fragrant. Now you can get it out. But in this mold, it is very dry and fresh, so we need syrup. For this, squeeze some honey into a saucepan, add some water, and sugar. That's it, we put this on the stove. Simmer for a minute and then it's done. You can fill it on top of our baklava. The syrup will impregnate each layer of dough. For decoration, pour pistachios in the middle. And our baklava is finally ready. Let's cut off a piece. Spread this out on a plate. Remove the top layer of dough. Next comes the ice cream and a layer of pistachios. We return the dough to its place and try it. Officially, this is now one of my favorite desserts. Be sure to put likes so that I buy this popcorn machine. Write in the comments what other street food should I recreate at home, and of course subscribe to the channel. Bye everybody!